China controls most of the metals that make your EV move, your wind turbines spin, and your missile hit its target. And even by 2030, the West is forecast to rely on China for about 90% of its heavy rare earths.
So, if Beijing turns off the tap, the green transition stalls?
Unless one little-known Australian company can wire together the only full, non-Chinese magnet supply chain on Earth.
Who are they? And why are governments throwing billions at them?
This is Lynas Rare Earths, the secret Australian company fighting China's magnet empire. We'll start on a China-centric rare earth map, then zoom to one mine in Australia, a refinery in Malaysia, and a new plant in Texas backed by the Pentagon.
And at the end, we'll show the map that decides who actually wins the rare earth race by 2030. Click like and subscribe before we dive in.
For decades, rich countries treated rare earths as a side quest. China didn't. It subsidized mines, tolerated pollution, and built refineries while everyone else shut theirs down. Today, China produces around 60 to 70% of rare earth ore and about 90% of processed products.
And heavy rare earths, the ones you really can't replace?
Analysts think Western countries will still import roughly 90% of their heavy rare earths from China in 2030, barely down from today. These elements, dysprosium, terbium, and friends, are what keep magnets strong at high temperatures in EV motors, wind turbines, and advanced weapons.
So it's not some obscure metal problem. It's a can your EV and your Air Force still work problem?
Now zoom out. One of the highest-grade rare earth deposits on Earth sits at Mount Weld in Western Australia. Lynas digs and concentrates that ore, then ships it to an industrial estate in Kuantan, on Malaysia's east coast.
That's the controversial plant that keeps popping up in the news?
Yes, it's been criticized over waste and regulation, but it also became the only big commercial rare earth separation complex outside China. In 2025, Lynas switched on a new, heavy rare earth separation circuit there and produced its first dysprosium oxide, with terbium following. That made Lynas the world's only commercial producer of separated, heavy rare earth products outside China.
So if you're an EV maker or a defense contractor who wants non-Chinese heavy rare earths, this one company is basically the whole menu.
And they're not stopping at Malaysia. The US Department of Defense has awarded Lynas about $120 million to build a heavy rare earth separation facility in Texas, co-located with a light rare earth plant, targeted to be operating around 2025. The idea is simple: mine in allied countries, separate in allied countries, ship magnets to allied factories.
Australia to Malaysia to Texas. That's basically the anti-China magnet corridor.
After years of warnings, governments finally panicked. In 2025, the US and Australia announced a critical minerals framework aimed at unlocking about $8.5 billion of project investment, with each government tipping in at least $1 billion and export credit backing for the rest. The goal? Fast-track rare earth and other critical minerals projects so allies aren't hostage to Chinese export licenses.
And Japan and Europe?
Japan has funded Lynas before, after a 2010 export scare. The EU is now pushing its own Critical Raw Materials Act and investing in non-Chinese supplies and recycling. But even with all that money, a new mine and refinery can take a decade, and heavy rare earths are especially slow to bring online.
So Linus is like an emergency bridge while everyone else tries to catch up.
Industry forecasts say that by 2030, China's overall rare earth market share might fall from around 90% to the high 60s as new projects come online. But that still leaves Beijing as the single biggest player by far, especially in heavy rare earths.
So what actually changes if Linus succeeds?
3 big things. 1. EV and turbine makers get a non-Chinese option, even if it's smaller and more expensive. 2. It proves heavy rare earth separation plants can exist outside China, which encourages copycats in other countries. 3. It buys time for recycling and magnet efficiency tech, so we need fewer new mines later.
So Linus doesn't beat China. It stops China being able to flip a single switch and freeze the whole game.
Exactly. It's not a Hollywood rivalry, it's a race to make the map less red.
Look at the map again.
China still dominating mining, processing, and especially heavy rare earths into the 2030s. There is also a thin but growing chain. Mount Weld, Malaysian refineries, Texas plants, Japanese and European magnet factories, trying to turn that dominance into dependence, not monopoly.
If this chain breaks, your clean EV and your country's weapons still depend on China's goodwill.
In our next episode, we'll follow how the US are turning dead coal into 100-hour batteries.
Subscribe if you want to see how far this rabbit hole goes, because the real energy war might be hiding inside your phone motor and your car.
Thanks for watching. Stay green, stay healthy, stay informed.